so we'll call him Fleet. However, it's kind of his name.
I know you've loved before. Don't pretend I'm first. I've been on either side of letting someone down, and I don't know which one's worse.
Do you ever have friends that, or even acquaintances, people you just meet, anything like that, you just kind of click with? Fleet and I were kind of like that way, but from a distance. So on Instagram, we would always comment back and forth. I realized his posts, his mindset. I really enjoyed how he talked about his lady, how he talked about his son, his motivation, just his general outlook on life. Very energetic, beautiful person. We would go back and forth, like I said, commenting. He would do the same with me. He would send me messages, and that's what it was. It's not in any intimate level, anything like that. It's just when you recognize someone special, you kind of connect. Fleet and I we go way back. We just didn't really realize it. So, this is him now. We did go to high school together, and we just figured this out probably 2 days ago now, I think. We weren't in the same class, but he was 2 grades above me, and I actually dated somebody in his grade. And it didn't ring a bell to me talking to him on Instagram and seeing him on Instagram, but so this is the funny part, as soon as I pulled out my yearbook, right, I didn't know his name yet, because his Instagram name is kind of his name, but I just knew his face, obviously. So I pulled out my yearbook. I knew what year he graduated. And I'm like scrolling through. And then as soon as I come across his picture, I'm like, oh my God, I know exactly who it is. Like, I knew him by name. And it's not like somebody that you would hang out with all the time. He and I weren't like that, but I knew who he was. His actual younger brother was in my grade. And then that probably an hour after us talking and realizing, oh my God, we went to high school together, it clicked like this. I was like, wait a second. And I was like, are you related to? And he's like, yeah, that's my little brother. I still live with him, and so on. And I was like, oh my God, he was in my grade. So it was like this crazy moment where I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. But it was really cool. So I'm really excited to share with you who he is, and the conversation we're about to have is going to be really exciting. Like the outside of it? Okay.
Yeah, it was inside there. The microphone.
It's all coming back now, yeah.
I'm putting it in writing. I said, this might sound crazy, but I was told to tell you this. And it was that relationship of, okay, this guy's pretty serious. And it kept going from one thing to another thing. And me and like counseling her, like I said, I'm like being a life coach, also counseling her over the phone and this and that. And her opening up to me, and I said things to her. And then another time, because she was like going through her dips. And then it was just like maybe like a month or so later, and it said, ask her if she's reading right now. I'm like, I'm gonna sound like a nut if I text her and be like, are you reading right now? I haven't talked to her in like almost like a month and a half, almost, whatever the time it was. I'm like, oh my God. I got my phone. I said, are you reading right now? This girl was like, I forget, I wish I could open the text. She was like, how did you know I was reading right now? So I'm literally at my computer right now, reading this document and this and that, da. It was like maybe like 10:30 at night. It's like, how did you know I was reading? Like, it's weird because this whole connection thing is like, we don't know each other.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, I'm like getting to know you, and it's like, it's different.
Yeah. I know, I was thinking about that. I was like we go way back, but we really don't. Like, I know you, and I knew your car and the speaker and stuff, but like,
it's crazy.
I don't know you.
It's like, I don't know you. That's why I'm like thinking high school. Because like I'm 2.5 years older than my brother, but I'm like thinking you're hearing the year when you graduated, I'm thinking you're younger.
Yeah.
But you're not younger. You're like, I like a gap. I thought you said you were like
No,
super
I'm not
young.
20, no.
I thought you were like 24.
People think that I'm like 22 when they first see me. I met with somebody it had to be like 4 days ago. We went for vegan donuts, and she's still in college, and we met up, and she was like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 28, I'll be 29 in March. And she's like, oh, I thought you were my age. And I was like, I get that a lot. Like, I get carded everywhere. I look young until somebody talks to me and sees how I hold my conversation and my presence and stuff like that. And then I realize, okay, yeah, she's older.
Why do I keep thinking you're younger? I'm like thinking 24.
I think it's just...
What were you
my
doing at
energy.
24?
What was I doing at 24? Let's see, I had a crisis at 25. 24, I was in a graphic design career per se. I had a
College?
apartment, grad school. I think I just got out of grad school, maybe. Something like that. I had a boyfriend of like 7 years. We had our apartment, and I was living the American dream, doing what we were supposed to do.
So that was 24, you said.
Something like that, yeah, because 25 is when we broke up, because March 31st is my birthday, and I decided to hike the Appalachian Trail in April. So, yeah, I had to be still with him 24, because we were together 6 years prior.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. The karma isn't something you do, it's something that just happens. You know, you can't keep being a snake and not thinking you're going to get stepped on when they are ate up by something.
Right.